Shalom, sister. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Hamasha, like Shai. I did a video. This video is going to be going into self-care, self-love. Not neglecting that in its truth. I did this on the Sabbath, but I ended up deleting it because it wasn't indecently in order. I just felt like I was all over the place. I was butchering my words so much. It was a mess. So the Most High, he just had me delete it, throw away like the whole of notes I had, like just do away with them and just start over. So I am back. If you did watch that video, I'm so sorry. It wasn't the Lord's will, because that video was just blah. But I'm back and I'm better through the Spirit. So we're gonna get into this thing. So, what does self-care and self-love look like? There is multiple ways of self-love and self-care. Spiritual, physical, emotional, mental. There's also like personal, social. But today we're just going to get into spiritual, emotional, and physical. I will do a separate video for mental, most I willing. But we're just going to really get into this thing. So, yeah. Okay, so I have my notes on my phone. But first, I want to say it's very important as women to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves, because we're heavily relied on. Like, people rely on us. It's our nature. We're nature. What's that saying? Like, women are natural, like, caregivers. It's our nature to be nurturers. Like, that's a true statement. So we were literally created to be helpmeets. So it's in our nature to care for others and to tend for others, to look after others, to love others. But how can we do that if we haven't cared for ourselves or loved ourselves? The Bible tells us to love your neighbor as you love yourself. But how can you possibly love somebody else if you don't have love within yourself? You cannot pour from an empty cup. There's literally no way you can love a neighbor as you love yourself. And the self-love isn't even there. Granted, us as women, we go through things. We go through rough patches in life. Everybody has a different life, a different story, different background. We all go through different things, but at the end of the day, we have to get ourselves together, because especially if you're a mom, especially if you're a wife, because we're the manager of the household. Now, especially if you have children and if you have a husband, they're depending on you. Your kids and your husband, they're depending on you. You are the manager of the household. You set the tone. So, whatever we're going through, we have to cast those things to the Most High, and get to the root of why we lack self-love and self-care. Conquer, face that thing through the Spirit and get that taken care of. Nip that in the bud. Ask the Most High to allow you to be gentle to yourself and love yourself again. Because, like I said, we're heavily reliant on. People need us. People need us. People count on us. If you got a husband, I was going to say if you got a husband, this is madness. If you got a husband, your husband counts on you. If you have children, your children count on you. If you don't have a husband, if you don't have kids, you have sisters around you that count on you. They count on you for you to bear their burdens with them, to be there for them. But you can't do that if you can't even be there for yourself. There's no way. Like I said, you can't pour from an empty cup. So that's really what this video is going to be going into. We're going to touch into like spiritual self-care, mental self-care, emotional self-care, and physical self-care, because there's a lot of ways of self-care, and this is something I've been learning in my walk. Like, taking care of ourselves is very, very vital. People need us. They do. So, first, I want to touch off this classic Leviticus 19:18. The precept I was roughly paraphrasing, and it reads, "Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbors thyself. I'm the Lord." So again, we're called to love our neighbors ourselves, but you can't do that. You can't do that if you do not love yourself. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Now, granted, if you need to take some time away, because sometimes we're not in the mind. Sometimes, okay, let me say this: we're called to bear one of the burdens, right? But sometimes our mental health lacks, our self-care and our self-love lacks. Our cup is empty, so we're not in the right mental and emotional capacity to bear someone else's burdens. We're not gonna. Sometimes sometimes we just be in a very, very rough place, and we're not there mentally, and we're really struggling through the Spirit. If you're in that type of space, take some time away to pray and to fast and to get built up in the Spirit, and ask the Most High to restore you and allow you to be stronger through the Spirit. So yeah, come on, people, they need us. You know, granted, if you need some time away, you know, to fill your cup up so you can pour into others, you know, take that time away. So I don't want to repeat myself a lot, so we're just gonna get into it. On the spiritual aspect, having a relationship with the Most High, this is the most important form of self-care. Feeding ourselves with the words of life, and being connected to the Most High is the most important part of taking care of yourself and self-growth. So that is the most, that's how you take care of yourself. First, making sure that you have a relationship with the Most High, the Father, Yahweh, in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. So what are some self-care ways that will look like spiritual self-care? First and foremost, you know, having a relationship with the Most High, making sure you're fasting, you know, making sure you're reading, you know, studying, being built up in the spirit, you know, praying without ceasing. Also, being mindful of the number one, I would say the key to, you know, the spiritual self-care for real is being mindful of what you feed your spirit, being mindful of who you're around, the conversations you're having, the energy you allow in your presence. You know, granted, it's all type of spirits around us, but the Most High protects us. But being mindful of like who you're around, being mindful of the things you're watching, the things you're listening to. We're gonna get into that. And the sister Lily just did a video on that, so y'all got to check that out. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse number 33. Be not deceived, evil communications corrupt good manners. So if you're around sisters, we want to be around like-minded individuals, like-minded Israelites, like-minded sisters. If you're around individuals that don't care about the Most High, that don't keep the commandments, those spirits are going to eventually rub off on you. Those evil communications are going to corrupt your good manners, and that's going to mess up your spirit, and that means you're not taking care of yourself spiritually. So be mindful of what you're feeding your spirit. You know, you don't want to be sitting around watching Love and Hip Hop all day, listening to Lil Boosie and Lil Durk. Like, no, that's not how you take care of yourself spiritually. You know, feed yourself with positivity. Feed your spirit with positive things. Stuff that your spirit really, really needs. Because your flesh needs that stuff. Your flesh needs Lil Durk and Love Hip Hop all day. That's what your flesh needs. You know, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is indeed weak. And then 2 Corinthians 6:14. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers, for what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness, and what communion have light with darkness? So light and dark don't mix. We know that. Light and dark don't mix. So you got to be around like-minded sisters that's going to keep you on your P's and Q's, that's going to hold you accountable, that's going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. It's going to pray with you, fast with you, rebuke these demons with you, study with you, read with you. Those are the type of sisters you want to be around. Now, granted, I would be lying if I said I had friends. I didn't have any friends in the world. I have friends in the world. You know, I do. But it's no type of folly. I'm not saying you cannot have friendship, like sisters that are not in this truth, because I have friends that are not in this truth, and they're just not in this truth because it's not the Most High will for them right now to come into this thing. But our conversation is never folly. The Most High uses us to be a light to our sisters in the world. So I'm not saying you cannot have friends with sisters that's in the world, because the Most High could use you to be a light unto them. One of my friends that is in the world, I told her about the truth a year ago, and now she gave me fringes like 2 weeks ago to sew some fringes on the shirt for her. She's coming to this thing. She stopped eating pork. So you never know how the Most High can use you to be, you know, could use you to help somebody come into this truth. So don't think by that I'm saying, no, you can't talk to nobody, no sisters in the world. You know, you never know who the Most High can light to be light to. What I'm saying is, you don't want to be kicking it with a group of sisters that's in the world. Like, you don't want to be around 6, 7, a group of going out with sisters in the world. Y'all out partying late at night. No, you want to be around some sisters. It's going to be like, sis, it's about 11 o'clock. If you don't get in this house, you're supposed to be keeping us at home. You know, go out and righteousness, have your fun or what I'm saying, but get back in that house. You know, so, so that's really mostly for the spiritual part. If the video is not too long, I might squeeze mental on here as well. I just don't want it to be a very, very long video, so we're gonna see what time. But that's pretty much it for spiritual. Being mindful, first and foremost, having a relationship with Yahweh Shai, the Father, in the name of His only begotten Son. Making sure you're being built up in the spirit with praying, studying, fasting, and reading. Being around like-minded individuals. Being that light and being mindful of what you feed in your spirit. That's pretty much plain. Because we don't mess with them. If you Google spiritual self-care ways, they're gonna tell you the dang chakras and all that. We're not dealing with that. The Lord is not dealing with that. And the Lord ain't dealing with no stone, no chakra, and no tarot cards. That is not spiritual self-care. That is witchcraft and madness. So that is not spiritual self-care. Okay? And that is not what I mean by taking care of yourself spiritually. Don't go to Google Googling spiritual self-care. Because that's what they're going to tell you. And that is wrong. It's very wrong. So now on to emotional. what does emotional self-care look like? Let's get into it. Let's get into the nitty-gritty. We're gonna go to 2 Corinthians 13:5, right? And it reads, who is coding here? Examine yourselves, whether you be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves, how the Hamashiach Yahushua is in you, except you be reprobate. So, examine yourself. Be real with yourself. It's okay to not be okay. I'm here to tell you that. It's okay to cry. It's okay to have emotions. It's okay to be going through it. Feel your feelings. Be real with yourself. What are you feeling? What hurts your feelings? Face your emotions, because if you don't face your emotions, if you don't face these past hurts, they're just gonna keep resurfacing. I've been a what's that word? I can attest to that personally. It's just gonna keep resurfacing. If you don't get it to the Most High and cast the burden to the Most High and face that thing head on, it's just gonna keep hurting you down the long run. So be real with yourself. Ask the Most High to reveal unto you anything, any past hurts, the things you have not healed from. Ask the Most High to reveal unto you anybody you haven't forgiven. Ask the Most High to reveal unto you things that hurt your feelings. Ask the Most High to reveal unto you your triggers, your insecurities. Ask the Most High to reveal unto you things that you do not like, things that hurt your feelings. These are all things that you need to know. That is emotional self-care. Being aware of your feelings, facing them, and what are some other ways of self-care? I wrote some things down. Positive affirmations, positive self-talk. Look yourself in the mirror. I'm a daughter of Zion. I can do anything I put my mind to through the Spirit. I am beautiful. I am not broken. I am healing. The Most High will heal me. I am okay. It is okay to not be okay. So whatever you get, positive self-talk, pep talks, positive music playlists. Again, I don't want to say playlist of Lil Durk and Lil Boosie. I don't. I'm sorry. You better be some positive. Now, I'm not saying you can't enjoy your R&B because like the R&B, but you gotta draw a line in the sand when to cut it off. Okay. When to cut certain music off. Have a positive music playlist. Color. Meditate on the scriptures. Practice forgiveness. Again, asking the Most High to reveal unto you anyone you haven't forgiven. Positive coping skills and managing stress. Now, you have to do those things with the scriptures. Positive coping skills, meaning not running to sugar, not running to wine, not running to social media, not running to your friends, running to Yahweh Hashem Hamashiach, woman like Yahushua, most importantly. I've learned that so hard within the past almost a month in my life, to go to the Most High before anything and anyone. Even if you think it's something so small, go to the Most High about it. Before you pick up your phone and call your husband, before you pick up your phone and call your sisters, have you called upon the name of the Lord? Go to the Most High. Have a positive coping skill. We're not in the world no more. Only the Most High can heal you. Drinking all the time can't heal you. Texting your sisters about it every single time can't heal you. Only the Most High can. So whatever is causing you to hurt, whatever got you in a rough place, you give that to the Most High. And then if it's on your spirit to seek counsel about it or to vent about it, you do that once you seek the Father. But you seek the Father before anything, anyone. Have nobody before the Most High. So have some positive coping skills. It's okay to, like I just listed a few ways for emotional self-care. It's okay to do those things. Those are ways of positive coping skills. Have a just balance. But you got to make sure that the Most High is the number one coping skill. These words life is your number one coping skill. And then managing stress, come in. Managing stress. What am I trying to get out of this? Hold on, let me think. Managing stress. We can go back to that, maybe. So these are ways, self-care ways for emotional. That's how you can take care of yourself emotionally. Basically, tapping into your emotions, giving it to the Most High, being real with yourself, self-examining, being real with yourself on what hurts your feelings and what got you in a rough place. Feeling your feelings. It's okay. Because a lot of the times, let me tell you this, we came from the world, right? Me personally, a little testimony. When I was in the world, I struggled with feeling my emotions. I really did. I didn't like to feel my feelings, and I did anything I could to avoid them, to numb them, to dumb it down. And it would always come back and bite me every single time, because the things that I was doing, it would be a temporary fix, and then I'd be right back at square one, right back feeling the same. So I'd go back to that temporary fix, but I wouldn't go to the Father. And then once I came into this truth, I had to learn the hard way. That's not how life works. And there's been times, saying he's real crafty, there's been times where Satan has hopped on me, just go do that. Just go do that. Go get your temporary fix. And I'm like, no, we can't do that. We got to go to the Most High. But a lot of the time, especially in our community, it's a heavy pattern in our community. We tend to run to everything but the Most High, everything but the Lord. And that's something I was doing in the world. And when I came into the truth, it was in game. It was in game. I couldn't go do the things I was doing no more. And I had to face it. And it hurt sometimes, things that we've gone through. People that you might have lost. Like I said, we all have different backgrounds. We might not know everything about every single one of us. We've all been through some things. I know we have. We Israel. We've all been through some things, and sometimes we don't want to feel our emotions. We'd rather do anything we can to numb it, but we can't move like that in this truth no more. Granted, we're in this truth now, so you definitely can't run to the things that you used to, but don't let that blind you of, now you're in this truth, you run into social media, you run into TV, you run into your sisters. You got to run to the Most High first. No more numbing our feelings. That's a part of emotional self-care. No more numbing your feelings and dumbing it down. Being real with your feelings. Letting it out. It's okay to not be okay. Right? And Psalms 55:22, cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. So cast your burden to the Most High. And then I also wanted to get Psalms 34. Verse 17, the righteous cry, and the Lord heareth and delivereth them out of all their troubles. The Lord is nigh unto them that have a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth him out of them all. So the Most High, he hears your cry, and he will heal you, Most High will. And so just keep the faith, and whatever is hurting you really bad, the Most High will heal you, but you got to tap into your emotions and be real with yourself. So that's it for emotional. And now we're going to get into physical. So, physical self-care. Proverbs 11:1. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. So we have to have a just balance in all things, right? We came into this truth. We found out the dietary law. You can't sit around eating buckets of KFC fried chicken all day. You cannot do that. Have a just balance on the things you eat, the things you drink, and how much you work out. I recently just started by working out. I recently just started by eating healthy. And my face is actually, clearing up. I did have a little acne, and it's clearing up. Our praise to the Most High. But also, ways of physical self-care. Upgrade your hygiene. Get proper sleep. Go to bed on time. Also, I think I wrote some more. Go on walks, enjoy nature. Having those self-care days. You can do them at home. Go get your feet done. Go to a spa. Whatever the case may be. And again, positive prep talks. Positive affirmations to yourself, and practicing gratitude. Being thankful, because there's a lot of and just being thankful, that's also mental self-care as well. There's a lot of things to be thankful for, especially because we're in this truth, and because we have knowledge of the commandments. So there's also you can also just use Google more self-care ways for physical, emotional, mental. Google more self-care ways, but also look into more natural derived soaps, more natural derived. Look into more natural self-care things, like more natural derived soaps, natural derived lotions, natural derived shampoos. Try to stay away from things that have excessive ingredients that's just all chemical based. Try to find those plant-based things. And then we're just gonna get into the precepts. So this is Sirach. And the reason I'm getting into all of these different ways of self-care is because, like I said at the beginning, there's more than just one way of self-care. You got to take care of yourself spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically. Sometimes you got to take care of yourself socially, like not always been on social media. Taking a step back, not being overstimulated. Overstimulation is basically like, if I'm not mistaken, like too much noise and just too much social media, too much it is. Taking a step back from that. Sometimes just taking a step away back from your phone. There's multiple ways of self-care, and I just want to touch on it. I just didn't want to touch on just physical. There's multiple ways of self-care, and to really be okay and to be able to pour into somebody else's cup, you have to hit all of these different aspects. You have to take care of yourself in every different aspect, every single aspect, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, so that way you can pour into somebody else. Right. So we're gonna go to Sirach 30:15, and it reads, health and good body. So like your health and good estate of body are above all gold, and a strong body above infinite wealth. There's no riches above a sound body, and no joy above the joy of the heart. So there's no riches above a sound body. There's no riches above a sound body, and being healthy, having a good body, being fit, that's above gold. So take care of yourself, work out, have a just balance, work out, Yes, I'm talking to you, sis. Work out, making sure you're eating healthy, drink some water. And I'm not saying that you can't enjoy ice cream every now and then, or you can't enjoy fried chicken. Eating healthy doesn't have to be boring. To be honest, you really gotta know what you're doing through the spirit in the kitchen to eat healthy and not make it boring. Because honestly, cooking is an art. Cooking is an art. So when you think about it, honestly, when you think about it, cooking is not hard. It's an art, meaning you make your food how you want. Just like if you were to have a canvas in front of you, you got a paintbrush, and you got paint, you're gonna do that painting however you want. It's the same thing with food. It's your kitchen. Make your food how you want. So eating healthy don't have to be boring. You got Pinterest, you got YouTube, you got TikTok. Take advantage of these social media apps. You got Instagram. You got Google. Take advantage of all these resources and find healthy meals that you like. Because the way about something about eating healthy and having a healthy lifestyle, you have to make a way for you to enjoy it, or you're not going to want to do it. So that's why you have to find meals that you enjoy. Just like with working out, I was watching this video and his sister said 3 ways to be consistent in working out as a lifestyle is 1, finding a routine that you like. If you have a workout routine and you do not like it, you're not going to want to do it because it brings you no joy, no excitement because you don't like it. It's the same with eating healthy. So having a healthy lifestyle doesn't have to be boring. You have to figure out how you like it. You have to figure out how to incorporate it in your lifestyle and how you like it, how you want to do it, but while it's still being healthy. So that way you're dedicated to being committed to it your whole life and making it a lifestyle because you enjoy it. So use these resources and find healthy meals and make it a lifestyle and make it fun. And in moderation, have you some ice cream. In moderation, have you some fried chicken. But overall, we need to be taking care of ourselves, right? Especially with the times that are coming in. And then I wanted to get Sirach 14:5. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his good. So that's kind of a precept for Leviticus 19:18. Love thy neighbors thyself. As I said through the Spirit, you cannot love anyone if you do not love yourself. You cannot pour from an empty cup. So if you're evil to yourself, to whom will you be good? If you don't even know how to love yourself, you're mean to yourself, how are you going to be good to somebody else? Verse 11, my son, according to thy ability, do good to thyself and give the Lord his due offering. So do good to yourself, sis. And then all my other precepts are in the Apocrypha, so I'm going to just stay in the Apocrypha. My last precept is in my other Bible, so we can go to Judith chapter 12 and verse number 15 through 16. That is not it. That's not it, y'all. Hold on. It's like it. Judith chapter 10, verse 3. And pulled off the sackcloth which she had on, and put off the garments of her widowhood, and washed her body all over with water, and anointed herself with precious ointment, and braided the hair of her head, and put on attire upon it, and put on her garments of gladness, wherewith she was clad during the life of Manasseh her husband. And she took sandals upon her feet, and put about her bracelets, and her chains, and her rings, and her earrings, and all her ornaments, and decked herself bravely to allure the eyes of all men that should see her. So our righteous foremother Judith, she was taking care of herself. She decked herself with ointment. She did her hair. She put her jewelry on. It's okay to do those things. It is okay. Don't be the over-righteous sister. Ecclesiastes 7:16. Don't be over-righteous. It is okay to take care of yourself. You have to take care of yourself. And it's honestly selfish to not take care of yourself because you have people relying on you. You got people depending on you, but you can't help them. You can't pour into them because you haven't poured into yourself. It's okay to go get your hair done in righteousness. It's okay to go get your nails done. If your husband allows it. It's okay to do these things. It's okay to do a bubble bath at home. It's okay to take care of yourself. You have to. It's okay to do an at-home spa day. It's okay. Let me get this precept. Actually, let me get this first. It's okay to do these things. Sirach 30 and 23. I'm starting at 21. Give not over thy mind to heaviness, and afflict thou thyself in thine own counsel. So you don't want to be given over to heaviness. You always sad. You always overthink, and that's not taking care of yourself. And that's also not taking care of yourself mentally because your mental isn't there because you're always in heaviness. So you don't want to be always sad, not the spirit. The gladness of the heart is the life of man, and his joyfulness of a man prolongeth his days. So just by being happy and glad, that adds days unto your life. Love thine own soul and comfort thy heart. Remove sorrow far from thee, for sorrow hath killed many, and there is no profit therein. Sorrow hath killed many. You only hurting yourself by always being in sorrow. So cheer up through the Spirit. Says there's a lot of things to be happy for. Cheer up through the Spirit and love your own soul. Comfort yourself. What are the things that you like to do? Ask yourself, what are the things you like to do? What are things that make you happy? What are things that bring you peace outside of the scriptures? Find those things and do them. Comfort yourself. It's okay to have a little glass of wine. It's okay to relax. It's okay to color. You have to take care of yourself, sis. You have to. And then with that, I wanted to touch this. It's Ecclesiastes chapter 2 and verse number 10. And it reads, and whatsoever mine eyes desired, I kept not from them. I withheld not my heart from any joy, for my heart rejoiced in all my labor, and this is my portion of all my labor. So Solomon said, whatever his eyes saw, and his eyes desired it. So like his eyes desired it. He kept not from it. So if you see something that you like in righteousness, get it. Enjoy your labor, enjoy your hard work through the Spirit. If you see, and if you have a husband, of course, with his approval. But like if you see a nice little bag, or like you see a nice little outfit, or if you just want to get something to eat, and if you're able to through the Spirit, and do that, enjoy yourself. Defraud not thyself of a good day. Let not the good part of a good desire overpass thee. And then Ecclesiastes 2:24, there's nothing better for a man than that he should eat and drink, and that he should make his soul enjoy good in his labor. This also I saw that it was from the hand of Yahweh. So enjoy the good of your labor. You work hard. I'm sure all of my sisters work hard. So enjoy that. Enjoy that. Don't be over righteous. Go out and have a good time in righteousness through the Spirit. It's okay to do those things. I think that was it. But also, I wanted to get Sirach 14 and 14 because I forgot. Sirach 14 and 14. Defraud not thyself of the good day, and let not the part of a good desire overpass thee. So don't let the part of a good desire overpass thee. If you want to go to the lake, go to the lake. Don't defraud yourself of a good day. Oh, no, I'm going to just stay in the house. I can't be out here having fun. We're in the end days. Don't be over righteous. Don't let the good part of it. What does it say? Let not the part of a good desire overpass thee. So if you desire something in righteousness, don't let it overpass you. If you want to go get that in righteousness, go do it. If you want to relax, do it. If you want to do this, do it in righteousness. Of course, have a just balance. Keep the Most High first. Make sure you're staying in the scriptures. But it is okay to take care of yourself. It is okay to enjoy yourself. We have to. We have to take care of ourselves because people depend on us, and you cannot pour from empty cup. So that's really all I had. Through the Spirit, Lord willing, this is helpful. Lord willing, this helps somebody. I love y'all so much. Lord willing, y'all continue to endure. Actually, I'll be right back. So this is my face wash that I use, Burt's Bees. It is, and the ingredients are from nature. So this is kind of like plant-based. And then I use this deodorant, baking soda, Arm & Hammer. It is free from aluminum, parabens, and phthalates, whatever that means. This Buff City soap place, it is a lavender shower oil, and I think they're only located in Texas because it's where I live. They're only located in Texas, I believe, but they have online. So look them up online. They are they're free from like chemicals and all them crazy ingredients. It's naturally derived, so I like them. And then this is they have shea butters that look like this. This one is the lavender, and then I had another one. It's called Peace and Love, but this one, it smelled so good. It's almost gone though. Oh yeah, that was my favorite. Ooh, it smells so good. And then I also have this toothpaste, charcoal toothpaste, and also has mint and coconut oil, fluoride free, and it is vegan, free from artificial sweeteners, dyes, gluten, dairy, parabens, not tested on animals. This is vegan toothpaste. And also I always keep this on me, some coconut oil. So that's honestly what I be putting on my body. I keep it real simple. And this is honestly the soap I use, but I don't recommend this. I don't recommend this because it's cheap. It's not. It has all these crazy ingredients. It's not healthy. It's just not. And being healthy is not just about the things you eat, the things you put on your body as well. You feel good. When you look good, you feel good. So, I also put this on my face. Vitamin E oil is my best friend. It's my go-to. So those are some things that I do. I also have my Q-tips. But yeah, I do not recommend this. I'm actually trying to change to this soap right here. It's a plant-based soap that my cousin told me about. It's called Native. So this is actually what I'm thinking about upgrading to. Upgrade your hygiene. Look into some different perfumes, some plant-based things. But Native, I'm thinking about doing that. And make sure your pads are free from chlorine. I have pure cotton pads, so make sure you try to aim for those pure cotton pads, because the other ones be having crazy stuff in it. But sisters, we really got to get into this thing. Take care of yourself. It is okay to take care of yourself. It's not unjust. It's not unlawful to take care of yourself. Look into plant-based, natural derived stuff for your body, for your skin. Do your hair, wash your face, comfort your own soul, love your soul, take care of yourself spiritually, emotionally, and physically, because people rely on you. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and you cannot love anybody if you do not love yourself. I love you so much. Lord, this is helpful. Kale Habashem Shah. Shalom.